Hello everybody, it's a modern evening here on my channel, and Star City Regionals is coming up in just a couple days at the time of this recording, and I'm going to play Urza because I love Urza in Modern. I think this deck is great, and there's a lot of ways to build this deck right now. A lot of people are really into Emry, Lurker of the Lock, which combos with Jeskai Ascendancy. There's builds with just Emry. There's builds with Emry and Ascendancy. There's built most of these builds also have paradoxical outcome. Some do, some don't. They're all crazy. There's a lot of ways to build the deck. But I'm still big on trusty old 4-color Thopter Sword Whirza. I love the hate package. I love the power level. This is the build of Urza that I'm most interested in right now. And it's also one I have the most reps with. So I'll probably play some of the crazier builds in future videos. But right now I gotta get my reps in with the deck that's closest to what I'm gonna play this weekend. And you'll see a few new cards from Throne of Eldraine. There is Oko. Oko does a couple of cool things. It turns problematic creatures and artifacts into elks. So something like Collector Oof is an elk. It also makes food, which burn is one of the tougher matchups that's out there. So just gaining a bunch of life is nice. In fair matchups, like grinding matchups, it just makes a 3/3 every other turn. It could turn Primeval Titan into an elk. It could turn Ulamog into an elk. I don't know. All those crazy things that are out there, they make them elks. Eidolon the Great Rebel, elk. So Oko is a pretty cool addition. I haven't played with it yet, but I'm going to try it. The other addition is not from the set, but it is a new technology. That's Cavern of Souls. Harlan Fear played one of these at Star City Indy, I believe was the most recent one. And he smartly realized that Goblin Artificer, Human Artificer, both of the creatures in this deck are artificers. So the one Cavern of Souls is pretty cheap to put in your deck building cost wise. It's another land that's not snow mana for Astrolabe, but you have a lot of sources of snow mana, so I think that's probably ultimately fine. And I always love this Magus of the Moon. This comes in and out of favor, but if we look at the modern metagame, according to MTG Goldfish, Amulet Titan dies to Blood Moon. Tron struggles with Blood Moon. Etron struggles with Blood Moon. Azorius Control, Blood Moon is rough on them too. Jund, Blood Moon is rough. Titan Shift, Blood Moon is rough on them. So like these are matchups that Tron is a tough matchup. Titan is a race basically, and Titan Shift is also erased, but they're a little bit faster. So a Blood Moon effect is really good in these extremely popular decks that are bad matchups for me. So I like Magus of the Moon. I usually play two. I shaved one to make room for these Okos in this league, but I like Magus. I'm going to leave it in. Otherwise, this is pretty standard business. Two Pithing Needles main or Pithing Needle. The real way to pronounce this word is Pithing, by the way. But I'm American, and I've said it Pything since it came out. And sorry, but it's tough to adjust words, adjust your pronunciation of words that don't really come up in day-to-day context. But so two needles is the big adaptation in the main deck. We're back to a Nile Spellbomb in the main deck. Graveyard Hate is relevant again. Pyrite Spellbomb also in the main deck. That's just tutorable removal. This is pretty standard stuff. Let's go run the league. All right, we won the die roll. This hand is kind of just slow and steady, which, depending on the matchup, could be fine, could be terrible. I'm going to keep it. Oh, this is Zeb Hillard. This is a social media buddy of mine. I'm going to welcome him to my YouTube. Well, if he follows my stuff, he probably knows that I'm on an Urza deck of some variety because I've been on him exclusively since Urza was printed. Alright, this could be trouble. I'd rather play against E-Tron than other Tron variants that exist. So I can fetch now and save myself 2 damage. I could take 2, zap the Endless one, or I could save my fetch land to try to... Oh wait, no. I was just talking like this is Fatal Push. It's not. It's Galvanic Blast. So I need to crank out artifacts here. I was going to say I could save my fetch land to get Revolt, but that's not how that card works. So, ooh, that was a good draw. A very, very, very good draw. Alright, so Engineer can bin the sword, and then next turn we have the combo online, even through a Thought-Knot Seer, because we have 2 Foundries. I probably should have blasted this Endless one when I had the chance. Like, I'm going to take 2 from it, and it's the same 2 I saved by not zapping it. So, yeah, I probably should have just cracked off that Galv Blast. Though Galv Blast will be able to pick off Thought-Knot Seer very soon. Alright, Zhalfirin Void does not cast Thought-Knot Seer. Alright, Matter Reshaper is totally fine. Alright, a 0 mana artifact is the best draw. A 1 mana artifact's pretty good too. So I can run this out and play this. Pretty much has to cast Karn or Bust here. And he's 2 mana away from Karn because that doesn't get sped up by Eldrazi Temple. But like Land, Spirit Guide, Karn Great Creator would be pretty miserable here. I'm not going to block. I'm not sure what Engineer is going to do for the rest of this game, honestly, but I'm going to leave it in play for now because the life probably won't matter going long. So I could have cycled Chromatic Star to see if I draw a land and cast Urza and just win the game. But it being my only artifact that I'd want to sacrifice is a pretty bad deal. And I guess I wouldn't even win the game because I just don't have an artifact to sack. So that's not even good. I'm going to Needle Blast Zone. Alright, then I'm gonna attack and then pass. Alright, that's Goblin's job, getting in for 1. Gotta win this game somehow. Alright, could Karn me here. Could Reality Smash me here. I don't care about Thought-Knot Seer at all. Alright, that is Karn. I'm luckily in a position where I can pressure Karn meaningfully. I think if I were my opponent, I would have attacked first. At least with Matter Reshaper. Might have gotten a block, have 1 less creature in play. Alright, that was pretty cool. It knocked the sword off of my creature. Alright, so I can attack Karn. This is until end of turn? Until your next turn. Okay. So I can attack with Sword of the Meek. I think taking 3 is just totally fine here. I'm going to use my 2/2 to attack Karn through his 2/2. Land would be a pretty great draw. Lame. Alright, so I can just Galv Blast Urza, Karn. So I'm gonna attack with all of these. No, I'm not gonna attack with all of these actually. Because if he blocks my sword, then I don't have an easy artifact to get the train rolling with again. Now I'm really glad I didn't blast that Endless one. Picking off Karn is much better use of that card. Alright. Accidentally doing well here. His game so far has been pretty slow, though, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's just another Karn coming right away. Tap for Eldrazi mana. Alright, so we're in Smasher Town. Pretty sure I can race that thing. Only Smasher can really... I was going to say only Smasher can really attack, but that's not true. So I'm going to chump Matter Reshaper with my 1/1 and eat Endless One with my 2/3. So this denies them a trigger off the Reshaper. Eat Endless One for free. I take 5. That's fine. I just gain 2. If I draw a land, I just win. Unless he's got Dismember, which would make sense based on how the game's played out. It's been kind of a slow one. Land, maybe? Ooh, Ensnaring Bridge. That's also a good card. So I can just attack with my Thopters. I'm going to play Star. I want to start churning through my deck a little more, try to find a land. Alright, we found a land. Cool. Alright, so we're going to win next turn. Chalice for 1, okay. I think that ship has mostly sailed. I can eat Reality Smasher by triple blocking. So that's what I'm going to do. You can Dismember to save his Smasher, but I don't really care about that. Oh wait, no. 5 toughness, not 5 power. Alright, so I'm just going to block here and here. I'm just going to save some damage just in case. Like, I don't even know what he could do, but I'm going to win next turn, so why mess with success? Even if he has Dismember, I can make infinite life and creatures in response. Can we get a scoop? Scoop. Yes. All right. Good. Didn't want to click through that. And like all his dust is a theoretical out there, but I'm just glad he didn't have it. So Magus the Moon definitely coming in here. I like Assassin's Trophy. That kills Chalice of the Void, kills Karn, kills Thought Not Seer. Oko's kind of interesting. Not sure if this is an Oko matchup or not. Disdainful Stroke and Ceremonious Rejection definitely coming in. Don't like Thoughtseize. I might like Tezzeret. Tezzeret being a non-artifact way to win the game is pretty important. Fatal Push is good. Oko's a maybe. Oko's a maybe, probably not. Tez is a maybe, probably yes. So cuts include... I'm going to shave on Opal against the Karn deck. Like, Opal's bad enough as a Lotus Petal. I certainly don't want it as a nothing. Pyrite Spellbomb doesn't kill anything. Nile Spellbomb doesn't do anything. Damping Sphere is a good one. It's already in the main deck. Wellspring's a little slow for this matchup. Their graveyard hate could be Relic, could be Leyline of the Void. It's usually Leyline. So I'm going to hedge on shaving an Engineer because Leyline bricks that. And Chromatic Star gets bricked by Leyline or Karn. So Star is usually a pretty safe one to shave. Shave a Thopter Foundry and a sword as well. No, I should leave a sword in case... I don't want my only sword to get stripped by a Thought Not Seer. Right, do I want all these Fatal Pushes? I don't think so. Fatal Push is the worst removal spell between Galv Blast, Astrophy. Fatal Push is the worst one left. Needle is good against Tron decks. I'm going to shave another Opal too. Alright. This could be a reasonable plan. Now I'm going to switch Engineer for another Opal. Come on, Moto. There it goes. Okay. I switched back to the Opal because you board in all these 4-drops and these splash color cards. Want to make sure I can actually cast them. Even though it is kind of a liability against Karn. Alright, I'm going to Snap Keep. I have some mana, a bunch of cantrips, and a rejection. Alright, Relic is the sideboard card. That's fine. I'm going to hold up Ceremonious Rejection this turn instead of casting Astrolabe because Chalice on 1 would actually just collapse my hand. Alright, that is a 3-3. I can beat a 3-3. I hope. Ooh. The juice is loose. Cool. I can play Polluted Delta and pass. I had the Steam Vents, but if I played Steam Vents untapped, taking 2, and then didn't cast a spell with it, that would really obviously telegraph rejection, which I'm trying to avoid. Okay. I'm actually just going to get a Snowland here. Magus is my long-term plan. I'm going to get another island. I'm going to be flush with Astrolabes. I'm not jamming Magus this turn because he could still just untap and cast Karn off 4 colorless mana. Or 4 red mana. See if I find an untapped land I can continue low-key representing. All right, so now it's clear that I have something, or I wouldn't have taken 2 there. Luckily for me, Eldrazi Tron, or Tron strategies in general, are not decks that just don't cast their spells. If he's got a spell, it's time. Do I care about that? Yes, I do. Chalice on 2 is rough. Basically all my win cons cost 2. I do need some lands. Let's take a look at what he's going to draw. Thought Not Seer. Okay. I can keep that card from getting cast with this. If one of these 2 cards in hand is Karn, though, he's going to be able to stick Karn, and then my mana is a nightmare. All right, another 4-drop. All right, is this Dismember? Okay. All right, so we're getting our thoughts knotted here. Probably going to take Bridge, unfortunately. Bridge is definitely the best card in my hand. And I only play 1, and now it's gone. The good news, though, is if I can stabilize this, he's on 1 card in hand. The bad news is this is putting me to 8, and the next attack puts me to 1, so I'm pretty low on life. Land? All right, we drew a land. Moment of truth. Okay, so I can fetch and then Fatal Push. I'm definitely interested in that. And I'm also going to cast Thopter Foundry, probably. Thopter Foundry can turn these Astrolabes into blockers for a couple turns while I spin my wheels. The Relic means I can't just whir for Sword, but I can whir for Needle. Karn is a nightmare, but Karn is always going to be a nightmare. Smasher's also real rough here. Okay, so I'm going to have to sack an Astrolabe to block Eternal Scourge. And I'm going to have to trophy the Smasher. A second whir is pretty cool. All right, so there is a huge play I could try to make here, which is Tezzeret, make this a 5/5 block. Like put up a blocker, which dies to Dismember. I'm dead to a second Smasher no matter what I do here. But not trophying means they don't get a land. All right, I'm going to go for the Tezzeret slam here. Just hope I'm not dead. I can turn the other Astrolabe into a Thopter to not die. But if I can get a wall of 5/5s up, I'll be okay. Like if I think if I untap one time and get to use Tezzeret, this game becomes pretty manageable. Oh, is this just second smasher? Oh, it's Karn. That's so much worse. That's not worse because I'm not dead, but it's kind of scary. So I'm gonna get Island. I have to do this right away. Unfortunate I don't have another mana to get rid of Thopter Foundry. I guess making it a 5/5 next turn is a better plan anyway. I'm gonna have to pressure this Karn. So I can whir for Needle to name Karn if I can't kill him. There's not really attacks here. Yeah, didn't think so. Okay, an extra 1/1. Ooh, Disdainful Stroke's a hot one. Alright, Thopter Foundry is a 5/5 now. Okay, so I can hold up Stroke for something. Oh, I can do both, maybe? No, if I do both, I lose. One, two, three, one. No, that's... I'm actually okay. So if I were for Needle tapping the Thopter, then I still have two 5/5s on D. And I'm holding up Disdainful Stroke. That sounds pretty good. Karn the Great Creator. Alright, so this line still loses to Dismember. It doesn't lose to Smasher anymore because I have Stroke. If I get another turn to plus Tezzeret and start digging, if I find either Sword or Needle, I can whir for the other one. And then I'm off with Foundry. Okay. Protection from Magus of the Moon. It's also threatening to be a 3/3 at any point. From Karn. Oh wait, can't do that, never mind. If Karn could be activated, it would have better things to do than turn Serum Powder into a 3/3. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Whirza baby. Alright, there's the sword. So, do I win now? I can cast Whirza. And then I can cast Sword. And then 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh wait, I need to clear this Karn before I can do anything. Yeah, I have to needle the relics and beat the Karn. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this stuff into play and pass holding up Disdainful Stroke. I can also whir. And now that I have this construct, I think I have an attack. I'm gonna go after Karn here. Alright, that trade is unsurprising. I have Disdainful Stroke for a All is Dust. If he just does nothing, I'll whir for a Pithing Needle. And then a green source clears Karn, or combat next turn might also clear Karn. Reality Smasher. Okay, so I could counter this, but I don't think that I care. I have a bunch of 5/5s available. This one's only going to get bigger, the construct. Alright, so end up whir for 1. Get that second needle. Name Relic of Progenitus. Let's see if he pops both his needles in response. Or both his relics. Alright, he popped 1. That's smart. If he pops both, I can just name something different. But since he just popped the 1, I'll name that. That's not the green source we were looking for. Not yet, because my only fetchable land is Breeding Pool, and I'm at 3. I'll get this Opal. Doesn't help me yet, but I have it. So I think I attack Karn here with Construct. Do I lose to Dismember if I do that? Yes. Alright, I'm just going to play it safe. Leave up all these blockers. I can fetch for Breeding Pool tapped going to 2 next turn, or at the end of this turn, and then just Trophy Karn. I can beat a Scavenger Grounds, that's fine. That's a lot of graveyard hate in this deck. Mad respect. I probably had enough artifacts to activate Urza once on my turn. Alright, he saw my hand with Thought-Knot Seer. He knew the trophy was there, so good games. Alright, so we're on the play. None of these lands in my hand make blue. And blue is really important for this deck to function. Like, I have Pyrite Spellbomb, but like if I play Mountain, then I'm at least 2 turns away from Thopter Foundry. I'm going to mulligan this. This one has no lands at all. Alright, I can play this hand. I'm going to bottom Galvanic Blast. And I got to get rid of one of these 1-mana artifacts. I think Needle is the worst of them. I want to keep the Urza. I'm going to draw a lot of cards over the next couple turns. Let's just hope they're Dredge. I guess I could have kept the needle, bottom the spell bomb, and used bauble to try to snipe something with needle on turn one. So I could spell bomb and just draw a card right now. I have to make my decision before I crack bauble though. Now I'm just gonna let them draw. I can do this in their end step. Like if they cast Inquisition of Kozilek right now, I want it to miss. Oh, it's poison. No, it's affinity. Okay. So that pirate spellbomb hand would have killed something, but then been way too slow the rest of the way through. All right, so I'm gonna draw 2 cards right now. Ooh, I have to float black before I sack this thing, because that's how Metalcraft works. All right. Another Nexus. The other one is coming. All right, that was actually really good. Hitting mana, trying to get up to this Whirza is basically my whole plan. I should bauble myself now in case Galvanic Blast is on top of my deck. At least give myself a chance to draw it. Mox Opal. All right, that's not a card that I want. All right, yeah, I'm not going to pay 2 life in case I spike Galvanic Blast. All right, Needle's good. That can turn off Cranial Plating or Ravager. It also is a stickier artifact to keep my Mox Opal active for a while. There's the Ravager. I'm going to attack for 1. Okay, another artifact. So that guarantees Karn next turn. Let's see what they do here. If they sack Ravager, I'll just name one of the lands. Okay. I think it is better to not sack Ravager there. They made the right choice. Alright, so I can cast Whirza next turn. Leave me with a 4/4. Maybe more will happen along the way. Attack for 5 here. Or 3 and 2 poison, which seems worse than attacking for 5. They could also cast Cranial Plating and just ruin my life. This matchup is good, but mulliganing to 5 pre-board is a rough start. Okay, they are on that poison life. Splitting the difference, life points and toxic points. I guess the getting poison damage in makes sense because my deck can gain infinite life, which is bad for the damage race deck. All right, my hand is empty. F6. This stops the Ravager from attacking. And if I rip Whir or Inventor's Fair or Thopter Foundry, I win. If their last card in hand is Cranial Plating, I think I lose right now, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. They could attack with Ravager too. I block it, but it's not doing anything else this game. They might as well move the counter somewhere. Yeah, okay. So they are attacking with Ravager. I'll make the block. That'll move the counter over to their Ink Moth for the future. So I go to 5 poison now. They can attack for 4 more poison next turn. So I'm not dead next turn to their board. So I'm going to at least get some flips off Whirza. Maybe win the game. Snaring Bridge is a good card. Okay, so what happens now? I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a flip with Whirza, then still cast Bridge. I could attack for 6. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I can attack for 6 and then cast Bridge and tap the Bridge to flip with Whirza. I attack for 6. There's no reason to leave back Whirza. It can't block anything that might attack. So, like, the awkward thing that might happen here is if I flip something that is a cantrip. All right, that's not a cantrip, just a land. I'll take that. Cranial Plating. They do not have double black to equip as an instant, so Cranial Plating's still fine here. Unless they have another black source. All right, Ornithopter's rough, because Ornithopter and Signal Pest can still attack even though I'm hellbent with Bridge. Okay, that doesn't do anything. So they attack for 1 here. That's not much of a clock. That's not where Affinity wants to be, obviously. All right, that's free. It costs 1, and then I can tap it for 1. We can re-roll that. This one's not free because I had to tap. I had to filter snow mana. Inventor's Fair. Does that win me the game? It should. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Activate, get Foundry, infinite life, infinite things. Alright. And we did it. Yeah, that Bridge was really good. Shut down that poison plan. When Affinity's attacking for 1, that's not really where they want to be. Alright, so I actually like Magus of the Moon because it shuts down their creature land plan. Fatal Push is great. Every removal spell comes in. Ceremonious Rejection counters their whole deck. I'm not into Thoughtseize. That's not really what I'm looking for. Nihil Spellbomb doesn't do anything. Damping Sphere does not do anything important. Ichor Wellspring's a little too slow for this matchup. Their sideboard hate is going to be things like Torpor Orb, maybe Ancient Grudge. They could have Thoughtseizes, Wear Tear, maybe. So I still want my Jar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I do like the having the combo as my win condition. Thopter Foundry is really good on its own without sword. I think I can cut a sword in this matchup because they don't really have a way to exile it. And I don't care if it's in the graveyard or on the stack or anything. Is it time for Oko? I just don't think it is. Their creature is being 3/3s. Like, most of their creatures are smaller than 3/3 to begin with, and it's just a creature deck for the most part. Needle's good, Spellbomb's good. Maybe I can shave a star. I think I want Engineer. Yeah, maybe I'll cut an Opal. Like, this is a matchup where you do want to be fast, but it's also a matchup where I want every card to matter. Alright, here's my plan. This hand is really good. We're going to see a bunch of cards. We got removal. We have half the combo. Let's do it. I think I'm going to play Watery Grave tapped on turn 1. I guess it depends on what they do. If they play some messed up creature that threatens a turn 2 victory, then I'll leave up black. But I guess no, I'm not going to leave up black regardless. All right, cool. So now I get to play Watery Grave tapped. And then I can play Astrolabe and hold up Fatal Push next turn. So I'm going to get a look at what they're drawing. Basic Mountain. Okay. Deal. Oh, and maybe I'll just cast 2 Astrolabes next turn. It depends on what kind of threat they present. Ravager. And another 2-drop of some variety. Alright, I'm Fatal Pushing Steel Overseer all day, every day. So it's going to be Astrolabe and Fatal Push this turn. Steel Overseer is one of the ones that really messes up the race in the wrong direction. Like, you're mostly faster than what Affinity is trying to do. Like, you both have a similar goldfish, but you have interactive spells and they don't. That's fine. Better 1 counter than 3 or 4 next turn. Ooh, they're going in. They must have another Opal. It's weird that they did it there. Yeah, why not see what you're going to draw first and make a decision? Am I dead to Cranial Plating? 1, 2... I might be dead to Cranial Plating. No, I don't think so. Alright, they don't have it anyway. Didn't matter. Alright, so 3, 4, 5, 6. They could just hit me for 7 poison right here, if that's the game they want to play. And God, I hope it is, because I have Assassin's Trophy in my hand. That would be a pretty crazy all-in. Alright, so I can play another Astrolabe and a fetch land, and then I'm holding up Trophy. Yeah, and then I can play Foundry next turn with multiple Thopters available to make. Alright. Now we're in super speed mode. So now I can play Breeding Pool tapped. Save myself 2 life in the future. Yeah, next turn I can cast Foundry. I can make a bunch of Thopters, gain tons of time. They sometimes have stubborn denials, like some small number of them. I'm not going to take any actions here if I don't have to. Because once the Thopter Foundry is in play... Oh, hello. I was going to say, once Foundry's in play, we have to worry about... we can start forcing weird trades that make them commit the Ravager, and then we get more exciting Assassin's Trophy targets. So if I go blue-black, then I can't trophy. All right, I'm just going to pass with Whirza available and hope that they are afraid of letting me untap again and just try to sink into a big Nexus attack and then just die to Assassin's Trophy. All right, Nexus number 3. If they don't think they can beat Whirza going long, now is the time to shove in. So let's see, I'm already at 2 poison. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They might have a lethal poison attack if they want to commit to it here. I'm going to make them react first, though. I'll make this block. Try to force some sort of action. They have to sack 2 artifacts if they want to keep Ravager alive. They have to sack a whole lot more if they want to kill me with poison. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to have Thopter Foundry active. Got a removal spell now. I don't think it's time to flip things with Whirza. So if I make blue-black or blue-black and cast the second Foundry, I still have green and another Astrolabe up. Okay, so I have both Astrolabes up because Spell Bomb doesn't care if it's tapped. All right, lots of artifacts. Urza's not going to block, so I'm just going to attack with him. Cranial Plating is a powerful spell. It does not get through Thopter Foundry, though. I don't think I'm in any danger of dying here, but let's see what kind of attack they make and what we can box them into. Alright, gigantic poisonous monster. They are hellbent over there. So I can make 1, 2, 3 Thopters without too much worry. Or maybe just 2. Alright, so I'm going to sack the extra foundry first. Yes. And the opal next. Maybe I should have sacked this astrolabe. Yeah, opal's just better than astrolabe. That was bad. Alright, so I can make the obvious blocks here. Here and here. Now, is there any way to force a bad trade? So they can either dump the Ravager counters onto this Nexus, or they can just eat Nexus and make Ravager a 6/6. They could also just let damage resolve, which I'm okay with. I should have fetched. Alright, doesn't matter, we just win. Yeah, this should have been Steam Vents in the end step, but we're just going to win instead. And we got the sword, and you're dead. Nice. Yeah, not really in any danger of losing either of those games. On the play again, 3 for 3 on die rolls. Easy game. Double opal kind of sucks. Like, this is basically a 6-card 5-lander, which does not sound good, but Goblin Engineer is among the best cards to have in a situation like this. I think we can do better. This hand is certainly better. I'm going to keep. So I need the land. I want... So I can turn on Opal turn 1. I think I'm going to bottom though. It's either Whir or Urza, which is weird to say because they're both huge payoffs. But, I'm closer to Whirring for meaningful value. But Whir is redundant copies of other cards. There are only 4 Urzas in the deck that could show up. This is actually super interesting. I'm going to ship the Whir. Urza is just so good. And if they're on something disruptive, then, like if they kill Thopter Foundry, then I'm going to really wish that I had Urza and not Whir. Also, keeping Urza gives you a little buffer against Inquisition of Kozilek. Thoughtseize would wreck us either way. Whir does give me more options, though, as far as finding the main deck bullets. Like, if it ends up that we're just against, like, Dredge or Tron or Storm, I'm gonna wish I had Whir. Maybe Whir was the right keep for that reason. Certainly willing to believe that. Snow-covered island. And ship it. Unfortunately, having Welding Jar in play means I just can never F6. Alright, so they are actual Tron. Okay, that's pretty good. Put the sword in the bin. So if I draw a Manosaurus, I can start sorting immediately. They started on forest, which is good for me. Please don't have a relic. Okay, good. All right, land. Nice. All right, that's pretty sweet. Can even attack. And then if I find another mana source, I can just win next turn. Yeah, land off the top is just a straight up victory. All right, race is on. So the question now is, and I already know the answer, I'm just saying it out loud. I could sack this to draw a card and have an extra look at a mana source, or I could just get my sword back into play. And the obvious choice is to just try to draw a card, because land wins the game. Land? Shit. Alright, we didn't get there. And they're going to have Tron next turn. That's fine. I'm not going to attack with Engineer because I can draw an extra card off it. And the backup Foundry, having backup Foundry is nice because if they're probably not going to Karn me unless they just have the third Tron piece in hand. Okay, they didn't. Mine. Oblivion Stone. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're gonna sacrifice Welding Jar to get our sword back. That gives, yes. And then we're gonna turn Thopter into Pyrite Spellbomb. And we're gonna draw another card. Still not a land. Land? Okay, we did it. Artificer. What sucks is that they are a Tron deck with O-Stone in play, so we have to actually click through this. I'm not going to make you watch me click through all this, but basically we have to cast cards until we can answer O-Stone with a needle or something. All right, so 11 minutes later. Yeah, so my opponent had to make me play it out because they had Oblivion Stone. Infinite creatures isn't good enough because they can kill them all. Infinite life isn't good enough because Karn can reset the game. Like, there's just a lot of, like, Tron can, like, you have to show them the business against Tron, unfortunately. All right, so I don't, maybe, is the Sunoco matchup? Turning Oblivion Stone into an Elk sounds pretty good. But definitely Magus, Thoughtseize, all our counter spells, these removal spells. And slow it down on the Opal. They're going to have relics after board, so Engineer is a whole lot worse. Wellspring, not great. Spellbomb doesn't, neither Spellbomb really does anything. Star can get cut. Can cut a Foundry also because I'm bringing in all these other win conditions. I'm going to go down to 0 Engineers. I just don't even want to mess with that. gotta cut 2 more cards here. I can probably cut Ensnaring Bridge, because they do have creatures, and they have to attack someday, but they can beat this so easily that it's probably not worth the slot. Galv Blast can kill Karn, which might be important, but I have Assassin's Trophy, so I'll leave in 1 blast and bring in the rest of this stuff. Alright, so now we have Tezzeret that can win a game without having to combo off. Alright, let's see if we can win one of these next 2 games in 13 minutes left on the clock. Should be able to do it. After board, when you can just like lock them out with Moon or whatever, like you have a lot more hits. Alright, I'm going to keep this. It powers out Whirza. I have a Needle. Needle's one of the best cards in this matchup. I can't turn 1 the Needle. I can Astrolabe Opal, though. Then Needle, and if I find a 3rd land, there is a turn 3 Whirza on deck here. Thoughtseize. Alright, I'm going to hold off on Thoughtseize for a turn. Or maybe I should do it now. They mulliganed. If they're counting on a Sylvan Library or Sylvan Scrying to get them out of this, maybe I should just shred this. Alright, let's see what you got over there. Ostone, Stirrings, Karn. I'm going to take the Stirrings. Alright, since it's Tron, they're obviously just going to draw a Sylvan Scrying. Alright, that didn't happen. There's the mine. They have 1 unknown over there. Bauble, that's a good one. Bauble turns on Opal. So I'm going to float black. I'm going to look at their top card, Veil of Summer. Okay, I don't care about that. I'm going to Needle Oblivion Stone. And then I pass the turn. Hope that there's a land forthcoming in one of these 2 cards I'm about to draw. Ooh, bummer. That turns on Veil of Summer. But they need green mana to do that. Shit. Ugh. That's absolutely disgusting. Alright, so if I draw a fetch land, I can still do what I gotta do here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tron. I knew 3 of the cards in their hand, and the 2 I didn't know were the 3rd Tron piece plus the best card in their deck. Alright, that's annoying, because now they can, like, Rashad and Port me, basically. Yep. Now I just lose. Yeah, they get Lattice. Wow, that was miserable. That's why people hate Tron. No offense to my opponent. No offense to anyone who plays Tron. I'm just saying that sort of thing. Like, oh, my opponent has no relevant cards in my hand. I'm dead. Alright, so Karn Great Creator confirmed. Do I want Galv Blast back in to pressure that more? I don't think so. I think this plan is the plan. Alright, let's do it. Alright, this hand doesn't do anything. I'm going to ship it. This hand does some stuff slowly. But I'm going to keep it. It's good enough. Like Whir is one of the better cards. Like I can Whir for Needle in response to a spell, so I don't even have to like proactively make a choice. Having a trophy can take them off Karn. They're also on a mull to 4, or take them off Tron. So they're on a mull to 4. So that's good news at least. I'm not going to fetch yet because my life total mostly doesn't matter, and I do want to draw lands. Okay, so I'm going to cast Thopter Foundry now to have it in play and at the ready. So I want Watery Grave and Breeding Pool to make that happen. So blue, black, go. So now I can Whir next turn if I draw a blue source. Pass the turn, pass the turn. Don't use that floating mana. Ship it. Oh no. Do they just have it all? They do. Okay. For Blast Zone. Okay, so they have the third Tron piece in hand already. Alright, so I can cast Urza next turn. I'm going to stop in their draw step. That gives them a chance to draw a basic land. And they play enough that I don't think I can screw them off it anyway. I could just keep them off Tron at least. Temporarily. Yeah, so they gotta have the tower in hand. Tezzeret's pretty exciting. So I could Tez, make a 5/5, force them to interact with it. Or I could just Urza. I think I'd rather Urza. Because if I untap with Whir next turn and Urza, I can win. But they're going to have Tron. So that is what it is. Yep, obviously. O-Stone is pretty brutal here. I can still just jam Tez and keep the show going. I can beat either Karn here, I think. Like, big Karn. Alright, there is the Great Creator. I'm not going to respond to that. I could have made a Thopter in response, but I don't think I want to do that. Ensnaring Bridge. Sure. Okay, so how do I get through this? War of Invention. What can that do? So I can play Bauble at least. If I cast Tez. Alright, so we know the last card in their hand is Blast Zone. If I cast Tez, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I can Whir for 0, but Whir for 0 doesn't help me. I need to... Yeah, I think I have to just needle this Karn, but if I do that, then... Oh wait, I can just attack Karn. Attack Karn with Urza. So now if they minus for Lattice, they lose Karn. Oko would be really good in this spot. Maybe Oko should be in my deck right now. Like, Oko turning off Bridge, pretty messed up. I think I have to just pass with Whir available. Blast Zone being the last card. Pretty annoying. So if they... I think I have to just jam Tez here. Astrolabe. Ooh, I can get Bobble, which lets me Whir for Needle if I have to this turn. Because if this Karn wishes for Lattice now, the Karn dies, and then Lattice just doesn't do much. What am I doing with this Whir if they don't do anything I have to respond to? I could Whir for Astrolabe to just get a card deeper. That sounds really bad, though. Maybe I should just proactively Whir for Needle on something. I could name O-Stone, but I think I should just save the Whir. If that's my plan, wait for the card I want a Needle to be on the stack. Alright, so they're refilling their hand right now. That's fine. Let that Urza sneak in, please. I guess they can just start picking off my baubles with... Oh, shit. Obviously. Now I think we just lose. Unless we get priority somehow. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, 7, 8. So they can't get Lattice and Karn me this turn. They can spew this Karn. But if there's any point where Karn isn't in play, I can bobble and refill, which might kill them. So they have to be really careful here. They have one unknown in hand. Okay, so they are going for it here. Let's see what they get. If they get liquid metal coating... Yeah, they did. Alright, so I'm going to Whir in response naming Karn. Does that do what I want it to? So I could also just like draw 2 cards, or I could make several Thopters. So they have 3 cards in hand. One of them's coding, one of them's a land. If I just make a bunch of Thopters right now, just turn all of my stuff into Thopters. Or they could, maybe they can wish for like Engineered Explosives. Is that a card they play? Walking Blist is a card they play. Ugh. Okay, so I'm just going to go for several Thopters now. I want to pressure the Karn. I might as well... Oh, I can do both. That's really good. So tap you, sack you to yourself. Whirza, make mana. I wish their Moto let you shortcut this. Alright, so we're gonna get Needle for Karn. Alright, let's see if this works. We know they can get 2 of the 3 cards in hand out of their hand. We just gotta hope that one of them can't get out of the hand. We can also just hope to draw Assassin's Trophy and win pretty much immediately. Magus of the Moon's also real good here. Damping Sphere is good here. I couldn't whir for Sphere. Oh, maybe I could have whirred for Sphere the turn I cast Tezzeret. Did I have that available? Alright, there's 2 of the cards gone. Alright, 1 didn't make it out of the hand. So we do have attacks. Coding the Tez, sure. Attack Karn, 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 Karn. Fire in. One, two, three, four, five. Aha, this is an artifact. Okay, so I can activate Whirza once and still cast Damping Sphere. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trophy. Ah, I should have done that pre-combat. I'm so dumb. Alright, so guess I'll just destroy bridge. And F6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They still have 6 mana, even with Sphere in play. They didn't charge their zone last turn. They could have put it up to 2 if they wanted to clear out the Sphere, and they didn't do that. All right, 3 minutes. Gotta make this happen. Just targeted Watery Grave. Karn is still off, so I think they were going for the strip mine there. But scrying. So that's their first spell for the turn. So the Sphere tax has begun. All right, Peatland, they're just digging over there. I approve of that. I think I just win. So if I attack with everything, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then drain for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah. We have lethal. Guess they could activate Blast Zone to deny me 1 artifact, but it's still 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's still Xaxes. Wow, that was really fucked. Okay. Powerful stuff. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or for 0, I'm gonna get welding jar, land for turn, ship it. That was an awfully good what's its face. All right, so they charged up to 2. They can clear the damping sphere and do Tron stuff again. I might have punted that. If I made something a 5/5 instead, that would have been 6 extra damage. I could have activated Whirza pre-combat as well, but no, I think it's, I'm not sure. All right, so they have 1 card in hand, Pete land for a draw. Karn's on 1, so even if they clear the sphere, they can't just wish for Lattice right away. There's the draw. But it's going to take 4 lands to activate this because the land's all tapped for 1. So they can end with 5 mana. If they blast zone, they have 5 mana left, which is not enough to O-Stone or Ugin. Ugin's not... I'm not sure if Ugin is good enough anyway. Certainly good enough to get another draw step, but I don't think Ugin wins the game on the spot. Nature's Claim killing Welding Jar. That's interesting. I couldn't activate that anyway. Okay. It was a misclick. It was supposed to target Damping Spear. Well, they made me click through my combo game 1. No mercy. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a lethal attack. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Activate Whirza in response to them turning off Whirza. Alright, Disdainful Stroke is in exile. In case they were going to cast any spells this turn. Now they can't. Alright, now they definitely can't. That turning Whirza into an artifact hilariously makes Construct bigger. So now my attack is super lethal. And they don't have green, so they can't Nature's Claim one of my attackers. Dismember does not save them. Okay, well, because Whirza is an artifact now, this attack is still lethal. It wouldn't have been if they didn't do that. GG. Alright, we're on the draw for round 4. This hand, it has double Foundry. Mox Opal will be active turn 2. I'm going to keep this. It's not super exciting, but it's got half the combo. It's got some disruption / removal. Just hope that Galvanic Blast lines up against what our opponent's doing. They mulled to 4, so they might just be Tron, or they might just be unlucky. So we'll see where this goes. All right, and the answer is probably Tron. Oh, is this Bogles or Ponza? Probably Ponza if they chose red. Bogles doesn't usually need red mana for anything. Alright, I am gonna play a fetch land and pass. That should take them off any stone rain shenanigans. If they Blood Moon, I care about that only a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to fetch for Watery Grave. And then I'll fetch for Basic Island with the other one. Or maybe I should get Basic Island, Basic Swamp, and play around Blood Moon as much as possible. Yeah, I'm going to go Basic Island, Basic Swamp. Ooh, that changes everything. Now I'm going to get... I don't have a Blood Crypt, unfortunately. I do have this Mox Opal. So I can actually just run out the Foundry this turn and Engineer combo next turn. If I just cast Engineer with a mana up, then I'm in combo town. Alright, so I am going to get Basic Swamp. Lead on Welding Jar. I don't want to randomly lose to a main deck of Braid. Okay, so if they can kill one of my artifacts or one of my lands, like if my Opal stays alive and active, I'll be just fine. Stone Rain is annoying, but not a game ender. So Bloodbraid Elf probably. Oh Jesus, that's so much worse. Wow, that's fucked up. Okay. Okay, that resolves. Let's at least put them several turns off of latticing me out. Did they just not kill Welding Jar for free? Or Opal? I'll take it. Deal. Alright, now we're starting to get punished by not fetching red, though. Like, I was not expecting Karn Great Creator. Maybe I should have, but I did not. Alright, so if the last card in their hand is land, we might just get latticed out next turn. I need to find a red source, like, right now. Alright, Blood Moon doesn't matter. Alright, if I find a red source, we're still playing the game. If I don't... Oh, Blood Moon is a red source. GG. We are still playing. So I have this Watery Grave I can play. Run that out. I'm going to put a Needle in the graveyard. Alright, so now if they wish for Lattice, I can just attack Karn and kill it because it'll be at 1 loyalty. If they do nothing, I can start doing Engineer tricks. There's got to be something cool they can wish for, though. I mean, the Opal in the jar should be dead. Alright. Power and toughness equal to its mana cost. 0, 0. This thing is plus twice, targeting nothing, so I'll take that at least. We're winning the moral victory. All right, they're making a wish. Engineered explosives. So that can clear out my engineer. It'll take Wellspring and all my foundries with it. That sucks. But at least I draw a card off Wellspring. Perfect. Bobble's just what I was looking for. Star is pretty bad also. Can't even cast Urza if I draw it. Yeah, not fetching for red that one turn. Just not expecting Karn. If I was expecting Karn, I would have played the entire game differently. Uh-oh, they figured out what their card does. Alright, now we're in all sorts of trouble. And they have tons of mana as well. So Chandra casts Lattice, plus they have 6 mana sources. Galvblast. Alright, so I have one turn to draw Urza here before I'm Lattice locked. But Chandra kills Urza. Leaves behind the Construct, though. Yeah, Urza, I can't whir because I only have 2 blue. Oh, good thing they made their land drop already. Wow, didn't even cast it. Alright, let's draw Urza. Come on, deck. Not like this. Alright, we're dead. Alright, that was super frustrating, but, I mean, there it is. Okay, the good news is our deck's a lot better than theirs. So, should be able to scrape a win together now that we know what we're up against. We did waste that sweet mulligan to 4, though. They mulled to 4 that game. Thoughtseize probably good enough. Don't think I want Fatal Push. Actually, I probably, if I have room for push, I probably want it. Because they're likely to have oofs. Alright. Am I just boarding in 13 cards? Alright, let's see what happens here. I'm going to cut the engineers. Cut 2 of the opals. Chromatic Star is a liability against Karn. Some Ponza decks splash white for Rest in Peace also, which is like not a card I want to lose to. I'm going to keep Pyrite Spellbomb. Why am I going to do that? No, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't kill Oof, it doesn't kill Karn. I can't activate it with either of those cards in play. Damping Sphere doesn't actually do anything. Bridge is good. Swords and Foundries I'm going to keep. Welding Jar. Welding Jar is pretty mediocre. Maybe I can trim a Foundry as well. Play 1 Oko for science. The sideboard strategy is crazy, but I'm into it. This hand is full of exciting cards, but it's going nowhere fast against the deck that contains Stone Rain. I'm gonna mulligan. This one doesn't do anything. This one, oh jeez, deck, you're killing me over here. This doesn't cantrip, doesn't make 2 mana. It has the combo, but God, these 1-landers against the Stone Rain deck. Just absolute misery. Do I think 4 will be better? What 4 could I hope for that's better? I don't think that hand is going to do it. Alright, I'll keep this one. I got a bottom 3 of these. I think I'm going to keep Oko. Get rid of these 3 cards. Let's see what we're up against. Wooded Foothills. Alright, let's take over this game with Oko somehow. Alright, Astrolabe's a good one. That lets us cast Oko, digs deeper into the deck. Both are things I'm interested in. If Astrolabe finds a removal spell, I'm going to crack it off here. Alright, it found a land, so we can Oko next turn. If we still have 2 mana next turn. Please cast Blood Moon. Not Stone Rain. Damn it. Who put Pillage in this format? Come on, Modern Masters. Or Horizons, whatever you are. Alright. I'll take Thoughtseize. Alright, get this Chandra out of here. Okay, so if we draw land, we're still in business. If we can elk up this Arbor Elf, then they're never casting Inferno Titan. Alright, I just need a land, please, deck. Let's do this. Don't break my heart. Shit. We're gonna die to Stone Rain. On camera, where everyone can see it. Okay, so they have Inferno Titan next turn, so I have to deal with this elf now before I'm just facing down an Inferno Titan. But Oko can answer Titan also. How about a land? This is my nightmare. We're going to draw Mox Opal next turn. I can feel it. Here comes the Inferno Titan. Alright, one-time dealer. Let's take over this game with Oko right now. Land off the top. Any land will do. I mean, that's not the worst card I could have drawn. Maybe I should fire this off now so I don't get Veil of Summered. I think, oh, Watery Grave is dead, so I can't fetch that. I guess I'm getting Basic Swamp then. Because I have to get a black source. How about just attack with Arbor Elf and then pass the turn? That's what I want from you. Okay. Okay. Are there any green ninjas? Is there like a ninja of rampant growth? Land? Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. That's much worse than a land. Let me be perfectly clear about that. But it's not nothing. It's a spell we can cast with 2 mana. Now Mox Opal is a live draw. Oh no, are we getting pillaged? Fires. Shatterstorm. Fuck. Okay. No attack. I'll take it. Fires of Invention. That is certainly a magic card that exists. Now we need specifically Fetchland or Breeding Pool to cast Oko. Yeah, this game is just an embarrassment. Our opponent has not done really anything, and we're just drowning under a mulligan to 4. Why are you casting mana? Tapping mana? Like, your spells are free. Stop it. Yeah, I think we win this one, like, this matchup, like, 99 out of 100, and exactly what happened in these two games has to happen here. Stop teasing me. And they are in top deck mode. There's a world where they just run lands for a while, or ramp spells, or they just cast Stone Rain every single turn. And we just die a slow, painful death to Arbor Elf. There's that Opal right on time. I think like Astrolabe into land is our best hope. Like we need to get something going here. And Astrolabe is our only card that is 2 cards that we can cast for 1 mana. And we just lose. Okay. That was unfun and unsatisfying. Okay, we're on the draw again in round 5. And this hand is rock solid. It's got a straight line to the combo. It's got an Opal to speed it up. Is this Barnacles? It is Barnacles. Alright. Goblin Guide gave us an extra card. It's cool that we have 0 mana cards in our deck because a lot of decks would just go to discard after drawing an extra card on turn 0. Alright, so I'm casting Needle this turn. So I'm going to fetch for Basic Island. Cast Needle on, I believe Sunbaked Canyon is the best name. It's either Sunbaked Canyon or a random red fetch land, like Scalding Tarn or Bloodstained Mire. And Canyon is the safest. They play the most of them, and it's a card I just don't want them to have. I'm playing Opal now because if they idle on me on turn 2, I'm not going to be excited to take an extra damage for no reason, extra 2. I just really hope they don't have Eidolon though. Let's be serious here. But next turn I can cast Thopter Foundry. Should have named Bloodstained Mire. So I can cast Foundry next turn. So I'm going to 15 here. I fetch to 14. Cast Foundry. I can activate Foundry off Opal, sacking Needle, and start gaining life and blocking right away. This is going to be close. Rift Bolt's in exile. I have to fetch the basic swamp here. I'm going to go to 8 off Rift Bolt. I can go to 9 when I sack my... I think Needle is the sack. Go to 9. Block Goblin Guide, I'm still at 9. They have 4 cards in hand, though. Skewer. 5. Alright, so they can't Searing Blaze a blocker here, which is exciting news. Oh, Mishra's Bauble. 0 mana artifact is my #1 best draw I could have found there. Yeah, they can't Skullcrack, they can't Searing Blaze. This is going to be really tight. Their last 3 cards have to be pretty bad. All right. That's not one that I wanted them to have. So they just need like any 2 burn spells here. I should fetch and make another Thopter now because that's free. On life anyway. But like now Searing Blaze is on. I'm dead to like any 2 spells and they have 3 cards in hand. But I've done my best. Please don't have it. Hopefully they're bottlenecked on 2 mana spells or just like a bunch of lands. Or Rift Bolts, Skewers, like that kind of stuff. Creatures, they can draw as many creatures as they want. Oh, they bolted. Okay, I don't care about that. I think we just won. Would not like to pay 2 life. I would like to get up out of bolt range though. Okay, so now they have 2 cards in hand, 2 creatures that I can block forever, and they didn't kill me last turn, so I have to imagine the last card in their hand. So they have 1 wild card and 1 card that couldn't kill me last turn. Like, they cast Bolt last turn, so we know the card in their hand either costs 2 or is not a burn spell. Alright, no attacks. Corner turned. I don't believe there's a way they can deal 7 to me for 1 mana, so I'm gonna get my extra life and Thopter here. And now we can start the beats. I have 5 mana. I can gain 5 and make a bunch of Thopters every turn. I'm doing it now so I can't get skull cracked. Should be pretty elementary to just present lethal over the next 2 turns here. Alright, yeah, writing's on the wall. Way out of reach, and they're on a very fast clock themselves. Slamming Oko into the deck. Food? Warrior needs food badly. Alright, so Burn is going to have 4 Smash to Smithereens and a bunch of Skull Cracks after board. So I can't really rely on any artifacts sticking around. Needle is not actually good. This Spellbomb doesn't do anything. This Spellbomb is great. I do want the Welding Jar. I'm going to cut an Opal. I want to make sure I hit gas as much as possible. I need my Fatal Pushes. I want my Tezzerets. Tezzeret is basically suspend 1, win the game. Like if you just plus him and then minus for even like 3 or 4 artifacts, you should get out of reach pretty quickly. Want to slim on Engineer. That's a big old Searing Blaze target. But I also want to go fast, so Engineer is probably worth leaving in. These decks, these days, Burn doesn't really play Stony Silence and Rest in Peace, which are cards they could have access to. They do have white mana. Ichor Wellspring is too slow for this matchup. That's an easy cut, and Damping Sphere doesn't do anything. So we get a trophy in here as well. I'm not going to bring in Magus of the Moon. I like Blood Moon if I had that to take them off white for the whole game, but Magus of the Moon just gets bolted by every single card in their deck. Alright, so everything that, all our removal, all our life gain. There's 1 Assassin's Trophy still not in the deck. That might be something I want. Where am I going to fit it in? I could cut a Foundry, but I think I want to overload their removal, not try to sidestep it, because you really can't. You do have to go off to win this. Last Astrolabe. Maybe Star is a little slow. No, I think 2 is enough. Like, basically you just want to clear Eidolon. That's really the point of the removal, and I have 7 ways to do that. The 8th, especially being a 2 mana thing that's on the double splash color. Yeah, I want to make sure I can actually cast the spells in my hand and don't get, like, trophy flooded. Hello, Ko. So double Oko is kind of funny, but this hand doesn't really do anything aside from maybe cast Oko. Like, I don't even have the requisite colors to do this, or number. Though Star's pretty good. I am going to keep this. I'm on the draw. Star's an extra card. Like, I can engineer onto... Yeah, I'm going to try it. Oko for life. They're just going to Goblin Guide to give me a green source anyway. No sweat. Please don't have Goblin Guide, though. Seriously. Swift Spear. That one is both better and worse. Okay. Now we're getting there. So Oko can turn Eidolon into Alctalon, and then also start just straight up gaining life. I'd prefer not to play through Eidolon, but I might not have a choice. Boros. Okay. So this is a little awkward. If I cast Engineer, which I almost certainly should, then Oko is off the table. Like, I'd have to take 2 to cast Engineer without sacking Star. And if I sack Star now, I'd have to take 2 next turn. I could also just play Sword of the Meek. Though I do... No, I do want this Engineer in play. So I'm going to put... What do I want in this graveyard? Probably Thopter Foundry, because I already have a sword. The Zoko is going to hurt, but I'm going to do it. Alright, I should actually math this out, though. So, if I take this, I go to 8. I fetch to 7, cast Oko, and then question mark, question mark, question mark, profit. If I block this, I'm at 10. I jam Oko, and Monastery Swift Spear gets to go ham next turn. I could also cast Sword of the Meek this turn, fetch to 7, weld it into Thopter Foundry. That just dies too. Smash to smithereens, though. I could also cast Oko and make Goblin Engineer an Elk. And then it's a lot bigger than Swift Spear. But I'm at 5 if I do that. I'm going to make this block. And then Oko up. It's super awkward that food is an artifact and can be smashed to smithereens. Alright, so I have to get Breeding Pool. I'm at 7. So if I turn this into an Elk, that's way worse than just making a food and hope it works. Please don't smash my food. So, I could play around Smash to Smithereens. Like, I could just make that a dead card. Oko does not say up to 1 target, though. Like, I do actually have to target Swift Spear, guaranteeing them 2 extra damage next turn. Alright, I'm going to make a food. And probably just die to smash. But if they don't smash, I just gain 6 next turn. Yeah. Oh, nope, that's draw a card. Okay. Saying there's a chance. Draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. Oh, no. So that's 3. Boros Charm is lethal. Lightning Helix is lethal. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay. Yep. Dead Zos. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I probably just shouldn't have kept that hand. We knew it was a sketcher. I announced it when we kept it. Just wanted to try Oko so bad. I think we win that game on the play, though. Like, they would have been a little short, and then I could have just gained 6 with Oko. This is a keeper all day. I can answer a turn 1 creature. I'm also very close to Inventor's Fair being active. I'm just going to go Mountain Pass here. Feed me a goblin guide. Thank you. Can I draw a card off it while we're here? Ensnaring Bridge, alright. So I have Fatal Push ready. So I could play Opal, but I'm not going to. I would only want Opal to cast Opal if they're playing Eidolon, and I'm killing Eidolon immediately with this push if they do cast it. Alright, and there's the Eidolon. Awkward. Alright, now we're just getting punished. Our great start. This is going nowhere. That sucks a lot. Yeah, Astrolabe's the best draw, as usual. Alright, so this is a 2-mana spell, probably Boros Charm. Yep, just in for 6, I'm at 12. Astrolabe. What do you do? Nothing really. Gets me one closer to Opal. I don't think I can pop this Bauble. Maybe I have to. If I find land, I can cast Bridge, but I can only get down to 2. If I draw Astrolabe, I get to go off. I'm going to hold on to the Bauble just to give Opal a chance of flipping or getting active. But they're at 4 cards and we're at 12. Yeah, this Stumble just killed us. The second Opal's so bad. That's why I board one out. But we still drew 2. Hopefully their hand is just bad. Either that or we're dead right now. Skull Crack, yep. Oh, we're dead to every single spell that exists. Fetch land's not good enough. Great. And we lose. I guess I could play this tapped and just hope that they have literal nothing. Alright, so live outs include... I think I have to dig now for ways to get this Foundry into play. Alright, there's the Astrolabe. They just drew Mountain. We gotta hope that the other card in their hand's also a land. Not that one. Alright, please brick for several more turns. And they can slow down here. Like, there's no reason to just be jamming spells onto the stack. That was a good one, though. That was really good, in fact. Okay, here we are. Maybe alive, maybe dead. Smash to Smithereens doesn't do it. Boros Charm does it immediately. There's that land we knew about. Searing Blaze does not do it. It kills the Thopter, but we can make another one and go to 1 and then block. Alright, so there's the Searing Blaze. I can Welding Jar to save this, or I could just sack Welding Jar and make a new one. What is the difference? I think it's mostly the same. If they have another spell, we lose. Alright, yep, that did it. I mean, that's an argument that maybe I should have... Like, playing around Skullcrack is an argument that I should have just made the second Thopter on my turn. Yeah, I definitely punted that. Because they definitely drew Skullcrack, or else I would have just died last turn. Searing Blaze was the card in their hand, and I let them draw the Skullcrack to win. Okay, lesson learned. So even though we just did nothing for 100 turns, I still had to punt to really lose that. So next turn, if there was a next turn, we blue, 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 1, 2, or 1, that's gone, 1, 2. If we draw an untapped Manosaurus, we have the combo. Are you going to let me draw another card, Moto? Alright, I guess not. It doesn't matter. Alright, so we defeated Eldrazi Tron, Affinity, and Green Tron pretty smoothly. Then had just a really weird backhand of variance against Ponzo, which is probably just laughably favorable in normal circumstances. And then Burn is a tough matchup. Had a really awkward hand in games 2 and 3. I think in real life, in like at the Pro Tour, I would have mulliganed my hand in game 2 against Burn, but here trying Oko for the first time, I just really wanted to shove it into play, but it didn't work out. Yeah, game 3 just got awkward, unfortunately. But that's Magic. So I still like Whirza. I'm going to be playing something very close to this 75, probably at least like 72 or so of this 75 at regionals this coming weekend. So if you're watching this and you're in Ohio this weekend, I'm going to Whirza you. So thanks for watching. As always, hit the sub button. Talk to me on Twitter at Bosch and Roll. Talk to me in the comments. If you saw a line I didn't, I want to hear about it. So